This video is a repair about changing the charging coil in a Kawasaki FX691V engine, and here are some of the things that I had to do to get down to the coil. First thing is we had to take off the shroud. There's bolts around the perimeter of the metalwork there, and you take those bolts out and remove the hose here, so that comes off. And then we remove the 4 bolts off of the flywheel. Here you can see I've got the flywheel out. We'll talk about that in a little bit, but before we remove the flywheel, we have to come over here and remove these spark coils. When you're removing the spark coils, they can be adjusted, so just make sure that you mark where what position they were in before you take these 2 spark coils off, so you can get them roughly in the back or same position, back in the same spot. I also took off the gas tank to get in there a little bit easier. And let's see here on the removing of the flyback or the flywheel, I had to go out. I bought this little timing gear puller tool from AutoZone. It wasn't exactly the right fit, as you can see here. It's a little shorter than what the hole spacings were, so then I had to get some, I think this is a 1/4 inch steel, drilled some bolt holes in there, and I had to drill out this hole in the middle, this bolt in the middle. That actually screws down and pushes pressure on the shaft, and then that will pop up the flywheel once you get it under enough pressure. So I got a couple pieces of steel and aligned the bolt holes, and bought some stainless steel screws from Ace Hardware. Here's some that I bought from AutoZone, and I tried doing this before. I had the metal brackets in there, and this is what happened to the bolts. They just bent off of the side because the first metal piece underneath this shiny silver one was too short, and you can see the bolt sticks off of the end, so it just kind of like pops over the side. Didn't really work too well, but that worked pretty decent. And another thing that I did before I popped off the flywheel is I've got a little torch here, and I just went around the perimeter here and kind of heated that up, just kind of expand out the metal around the shaft. At that point, this pulley or puller was over here, and so with this breaker bar here, I was able to drill down or tighten up the bolt in the middle to push on the shaft, and I put some nice pressure on the flywheel, and once I had enough pressure on there, I just gave it a little tap on the top with this sledgehammer, and it popped open. Lastly, as you can see, I've got a crowbar here on the left side and one on the right side. I put that underneath on this little frame here just to give it a little push up in the air after it was loose. You don't want to put too much pressure on it. I think that's just cast iron or aluminum, so just enough to lift it up in the air. And there you can see is my coil, and it's very, very dirty. So maybe the dirt was causing issues without, this unit wasn't charging the battery and stuff. So already replaced the voltage regulator, did not take care of the problem. The connections for the regulator are over here, down in this position, and the 2 white wires coming in are the AC voltage coming in off of the charge coil. I don't know if it's 35 volts AC. Then the last wire down there should just be a DC voltage coming out, probably like 14 volts DC. But in my case, there wasn't any voltage coming off of that DC wise after replacing the regulator. So my charging system should be good to go. I'm going to put it all back together and see how it works.